Welcome back. Today we're tackling a cornerstone of economic thought, laissez-faire economics. You've probably heard the term before, but what does it really mean? How did it come about? And why is it relevant in today's world? Let's dive in. Laissez-faire is a French term that means let do or let it be. It refers to an economic philosophy advocating minimal government interference in markets. The core belief is that free markets, when left to their own devices, are the most efficient way to allocate resources and drive innovation. In other words, it's about trusting the invisible hand of the market instead of the heavy hand of the government. The roots of laissez-faire economics trace back to the 18th century, during the Enlightenment, and philosophers like Adam Smith championed the idea of free markets. In his famous work, Smith argued that when individuals act in their own self-interest, they inadvertently promote the public good through the production and exchange of goods and services. Later, economists like Jean-Baptiste Say and David Ricardo expanded on these ideas, emphasizing the importance of competition and trade. Their work laid the foundation for modern capitalism. Fast forward to today, and laissez-faire remains a critical framework for understanding economic policies. Countries that embrace free market principles, like the United States or Singapore, tend to experience higher levels of innovation, productivity, and economic growth. Think about tech companies in Silicon Valley. Without heavy government regulations, startups are free to innovate, compete, and deliver revolutionary products that change how we live and work. One striking example of laissez-faire principles in action is the post-Soviet transition. After the collapse of the USSR, countries like Estonia adopted free market principles, reducing government interference in trade and property rights. The result? Rapid economic growth and rising living standards. Another great example of this is Hong Kong, which historically followed laissez-faire principles. With low taxes and minimal regulations, it became one of the world's most prosperous regions, despite their limited natural resources. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Critics argue that laissez-faire economics can lead to inequality, environmental harm, or financial crisis. And yes, markets aren't perfect, but excessive government intervention often makes things worse. For example, during the 2008 financial crisis, government-backed policies that encouraged risky lending played a major role in creating the housing bubble. When the bubble burst, markets had to self-correct, and painfully too. A less interventionist approach might have avoided the extreme volatility altogether. Another distortion comes from subsidies. In energy markets, for instance, subsidies often favor less efficient industries over innovative ones. Over time, markets tend to correct these distortions, but not without cost. Without intervention, we'd likely see faster innovation and less waste. The takeaway? Markets are resilient. When left to operate freely, they naturally find equilibrium. Government intervention, while sometimes well-intentioned, often create unintended consequences that take years and even sometimes decades to correct. So what do you think? Are we better off with more government oversight, or should we trust the markets to do their thing? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's discuss. And as always, if you found this video insightful, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends. I'll see you in the next video.